Wouldn't it be funny if I started the video with the outro just to throw people off? This is kind of a part 2 to my video on the slow death of YouTuber intros, or channel intros as I kept calling them. Which, if you're from that video, then hi, how you doing? Thanks for all the support and the subs. But for those who are new, the gist of that video is that YouTuber intros used to be much more iconic back in the day, with many people putting a ton of effort into them. Think cringe gaming intros. But as time went on, these intros began to lose relevance and charm and take more of a backseat to the content. While channels like Good Mythical Morning and Kurzgesagt still use what I consider traditional intros, there are many cases of YouTubers like Philip DeFranco and JonTron all but abandoning their old intros in favor of some kind of motif like Phil's
"Sup, you beautiful bastards."
And aside from some cases where copyright kind of forced the creator's hand, this shift in intros has happened mostly because YouTube intros are kind of a waste of time for viewers and YouTubers, and it's more effective to try and have something like a running gag like Dankpod Shrekpad or Max Mofo's Door, or just not have an intro at all. Instead of having this 10-second intro segment that people have seen countless times before that people are just gonna skip anyways. Alright, bottom line, people just want to jump into your content right away without having to sit through an intro, so you may as well either remove it or make it a part of the content itself. Alright, that's the gist of what I was getting at in that video, and if you were to ask me, I'd say the same about outros. Much like intros, outros have their own little history of being kinda high-key. While never quite as iconic as their intro counterparts, to say that YouTuber outros weren't important would be inaccurate. In fact, they were arguably even more essential than intros for the sole reason that they served a purpose beyond just telling you who you are. After all, the outro is where most people ask the viewers to like, comment, and subscribe, and it's also where they list the names of patrons or channel members if applicable. But even more importantly, outros are where the end cards go. You know those video and channel links that appear at the end of the video? Those things. Many of these outros are designed around these cards, which can go on as long as 20 seconds before the video ends, which, yeah, between the self-promotion and the end cards and the outro songs, and the fact that they often last longer than even the most overblown YouTube intros, I'd argue that outros are often more bloated than intros, and naturally, people tend to skip them and leave the video early, alright? Like, I'm done watching the actual content, why would I watch the 20-second outro I've seen countless times already when I could just move on to a new vid? It's the same thing with movie credits, alright? Who actually wants to watch the credits? I mean, the movie is over by this point. Even if end credit scenes are involved, nobody really pays attention to credits because they're just a towering wall of text that goes on for minutes after the movie proper has ended. It's common knowledge that most people don't watch the credits, and from my data, people skip YouTube outros as well. Mostly for the same reasons. Like at this point, you've already seen the video, there's really no reason to stick around, just move on, alright? So why even have them in the first place if all they're gonna do is just tank your audience retention? Well, here's where I begin to contradict myself and say that in many cases these outros are kind of necessary. Like them or not, credits are a requirement for every movie because, you know, it's kind of a dick move to have such a huge collaborative effort released and to not give credit where credit is due. Even if 99% of people don't watch the credits are there for legal reasons so that people don't get sued and people can say that they actually had a part in something big like a movie. And a similar, albeit less legally required thing goes for YouTube outros. Especially for larger projects with multiple collaborators, credits are kinda necessary. Even if it's brief, it's still customary to do so because again, credit should go where credit is due, alright? And even beyond that, again, end cards. Naturally, you'd want to have an outro that can house them. I'd go as far as to say that YouTube outros as we know them are very much still alive, even if they aren't as bodacious as they used to be, which, yeah, I'm just now starting to realize how kind of pointless this video is. Yeah. The way I like to see it is as a noob versus pro versus master sort of deal, sort of like those mixing tutorials. As far as intros are concerned, noobs have cringe gaming intros. Pros have either low-key title cards that don't waste your time, professionally made intros that match the energy of your content, or they don't have an intro at all because they don't need one. And masters spend time building motifs and running gags to cultivate a sort of brand and personality that uniquely fits their content. And on the outro side, it's kind of the same thing. Noobs use Xenogenesis from the Fat Rat unironically. Pros use Xenogenesis ironically, or some other kind of unique outro song. Or they don't really bother with outros at all, alright? Same thing as intros, not everyone needs a crazy outro like this. And masters, again, rely on good old motifs or gags to sort of blend the outro in with the content itself to sort of kill two birds with one stone, alright? For example, there's SunnyV2, who makes these rise and fall videos where at the end they just fade out after the closing remarks are made. And with DankPods, well, yeah, his outros kinda drag on. He has that big wall of Patreons that scroll by at light speed, which that combined with the Frank cameos makes for an outro that you could argue people kinda wanna stick around for. And I will say that outros haven't been explored nearly as much as intros have, but you can definitely see at least the beginning of a shift in outros, similar to what intros have been going through. I guess at the end of the day what I'm trying to say with this video and my intros video is to make every second of your content count from beginning to end. The distinction between a noob and a pro can come down to how they implement intros and outros into their videos and make them worth sticking around for. So, in short, get creative. Or at the very least, don't end your videos in the middle of a sentence. Yeah, you thought.